Hey, welcome to the Inner Game, the place where we unpack the invisible scripts running your mind. If you've ever walked into a room and felt like everyone was staring at you, even though no one said a word, you're not imagining the feeling, but you are misreading the moment. Let's talk about the spotlight effect, the belief that people are paying way more attention to us than they actually are. You've felt it before, like when you walk into a room a few minutes late and feel like all eyes are on you, silently judging, or when you wave at someone who wasn't waving at you and instantly want to disappear, or when you mispronounce a word while speaking in a group and spend the rest of the day replaying it in your head, convinced everyone noticed. You're not alone, and more importantly, you're not crazy. What you're experiencing is a psychological bias that almost every human has. It's called the spotlight effect, and it's exactly what it sounds like. The feeling that there's a spotlight on you all the time, making you feel watched, scrutinized, and judged, even when you're not. One of the most well-known studies to illustrate this was the Barry Manilow t-shirt experiment. Researchers asked a group of university students to wear an embarrassing t-shirt, a big bright one with Barry Manilow's face on it, and walk into a room full of strangers. Afterward, they were asked to guess how many people noticed the shirt. Most guessed about 50%. In reality, only about 20% noticed, and most didn't care. It's a clear example. We overestimate how much others notice, remember, or even care about what we're doing. And this effect doesn't just show up in weird t-shirt moments. Think about the time you posted something on Instagram and then panicked 5 minutes later, wondering if your caption sounded stupid, or if you should delete it. Or the time you gave a presentation, stumbled on one sentence and felt like the entire talk was a disaster. While most people either didn't notice or forgot 5 minutes later, or even those little things, a stain on your shirt, a bad hair day, an awkward pause in a conversation, we feel like they define the whole moment. So, why does this happen? It's because you are the center of your own universe. You see your life in first person. You feel every mistake, every flaw, every silence. So it makes perfect sense that we'd assume others notice them just as clearly. But they don't, because they're living in their own spotlight too. Everyone else is worried about their own impression, their own awkwardness, their own mistakes. The girl you thought was judging your mismatched socks? She's probably still thinking about the awkward things she said 3 days ago. The guy who you were sure noticed you drop your phone? He was probably wondering if his fly was open. We're all caught up in our own mental mirrors. And ironically, the more self-conscious we are, the more distorted the mirror becomes. The spotlight effect doesn't just create embarrassment, it creates fear. It makes you hold back in meetings because you're afraid of sounding dumb. It makes you rehearse "thank you" 20 different ways before replying to a compliment. It makes you afraid to raise your hand, speak up, or show up fully, because you think everyone's watching. And even when you do push through, the effect lingers. You leave the party and replay everything you said. You leave the gym and wonder if you looked awkward using that new machine. You try something new, a hairstyle, a bold outfit, a piece of writing, and the moment someone even looks at it sideways, you spiral. So how do we step out of this imagined spotlight? The first step is to notice when it's happening. When your brain says, "they're all watching," pause and ask, "are they really? Or is this my inner spotlight talking again?" Second, reality check the moment. If you made a mistake, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 hours, 5 days, 5 years? Most of the time, it won't even matter in 5 minutes. Third, flip the focus. When you enter a room, instead of worrying about how you're being seen, ask, who here looks uncomfortable? Who could use a smile? The moment you shift attention outward, the imagined spotlight dims. You can also build your tolerance to embarrassment in small ways. Wear that quirky shirt, say the weird joke, try karaoke even if you're off key. The world doesn't end. And the more you do it, the freer you feel. And here's something to hold close. People remember how you made them feel far more than how you looked. That awkward slip-up you're obsessing over, someone else remembers the kind thing you said, that stumble on stage. They remember your courage, not your mistake. The truth is, no one is watching you as closely as you think. Everyone's too busy wondering if they are being watched. And when you finally accept that, it's like someone turns off the spotlight. And you can just live. Not perform, not overanalyze, just live. Thanks for watching The Inner Game. If this gave you something to think about, give it a like and subscribe for more deep, honest explorations into the mind. Because the more you understand what's happening inside, the less power it has over you. And when you stop worrying about how you're seen, you finally start seeing yourself.